Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This one's wife. Gloria Steinem. Send help. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Martin Robinson writes in the Daily Mail, this one's wife has been spotted out and about in New York, meeting up with an old friend who she formed a sisterhood with over their shared passion for liberal politics and women's rights in the United States. Well, let me revise that paragraph to provide you with a more accurate analysis of what took place. Middle mid-range type A somatic narcissist, this one's wife, ensured that she was seen in New York. This was done for the purposes of asserting control over an audience, drawing fuel from them by way of their reaction, and to manage her facade. She took a non-intimate secondary source off the shelf by virtue of a direct physical hoover by attending upon the home of Gloria Steinem, who is the non-intimate secondary source. She has mirrored Gloria Steinem for the purposes of asserting control over her and portraying a facade of being interested in liberal politics and women's rights in the United States. There we are. That's more accurate. Naturally, this one's wife had to be attended upon by her bodyguard, and she was seen being helped through the gate by him because, after all, there is a real risk that Gloria Steinem is going to come leaping down the steps to karate chop this one's wife in the neck, and it's important for her to have some security on hand. In actual fact, what's required is for this one's wife to look important by having security, because in actual fact, most people don't give a rat's ass about her and aren't interested in her. But this one's wife, through the delusion of her narcissism, believes that many people are going to come running up to her in the street, and therefore it's important that she has some form of protection, and that you need to know about this protection. Such was the importance of the visit that this one's wife decided that footage ought to be shared on her social media. Let's have a quick look at what she shared. Creepy, isn't it? Blink twice if you need to be rescued, Gloria. Interestingly, this one's wife's visit was clearly fleeting, because in the footage she's still wearing her outdoor coat. She didn't bother to take it off, so one imagines that she was in and out. And of course, her priority isn't, how are you, Gloria? How are things with you? Shall we sit down and march on Washington together? Oh, yes, that was years ago, and I forgot to do it because actually I wasn't really interested in doing it, because I just like to talk about things rather than do them. But hey, while I'm here, would you mind sitting on this red chair so I can set up my camera phone opposite you? And then what I'll do is, in a really awkward pose, lean across you as if I'm about to throttle you, and you can do your best to put up with it as I look like I'm being affectionate to you, as I directly assert control over you, and then rest my head on top of your head with a supposedly serene look on my face, but rather the look of somebody that's going to actually chop the top of your head off and scoop out your brains and eat them. Yes. No wonder Gloria Steinem is grimacing as a consequence of this tentacled narcissist wrapping her tendrils around her. The Daily Mail article treats us to a review of the various interactions between the two women, but once again, this is a simple instance of a narcissist turning up and ensuring that she's photographed, because I don't believe for a moment that the paparazzi are camped outside Gloria Steinem's house. They've been told this one's wife is going to turn up wearing a coat that's too big for her, with a belt on the outside which doesn't look right. She's going to be wearing large shades as well, because after all, it is October and those sun rays are particularly harsh in New York this time of year. Make sure you get plenty of pictures of her exiting the SUV, being seen with her security, get her going through the gate, and then have her exiting as well. Make sure everybody sees that she's there. Thus, it turns into yet again another performative exercise by this one's wife as she puts up the photographs because she needs to be seen. After all, she could have just gone in there and not heralded it in any way. Ordinarily, when you go to visit one of your friends, do you ensure that a member of the paparazzi photographs you on the outside? No, you don't, because you're not a narcissist. But this one's wife needs that. She needs to ensure that her visit is seen, and that she is seen wearing some clothes so that she will be spoken about. Because if she's spoken about, she'll receive fuel and it validates her existence. She also needs to ensure that she is seen to be kind and caring, when in actual fact, she just looks like she's got Gloria Steinem in a hostage situation. The supposed kindness of this one's wife, gripping her and resting her head on it, was quite frankly creepy. But that's no surprise when it comes from this self-absorbed woman. She's utilising an old woman, bolting her on, acquiring her character traits as a consequence of Gloria Steinem's reputation with regard to the field of feminism. This one's wife thinks that she's a feminist. Her narcissism tells her that she is. Her actions demonstrate that she's not. She's only ever got anywhere in life as a consequence of men. She relied on her father to pay her through school, to get her opportunities in the acting world. She relied upon Trevor Engelson to get her opportunities in acting. She utilised Corey Vitiello to be introduced to the Toronto scene and to hold out her credentials as a supposed foodie. She then hit the jackpot by marrying the dim-witted Ginger Prince, which has meant that she's been catapulted onto the world stage with privilege and wealth. She hasn't attained any of those things as a consequence of her own ability. She just uses people. And this is another example of her using someone. An aged lady who probably isn't that interested in hearing from her, who is utilised as a prop, who has this parasite turn up, be photographed outside, and then her priority isn't, how are you, Gloria, what's going on, should we talk about initiatives that we can engage in? Oh no, it's, I need some footage to show that I visited you because I need to convince the world that I'm a kind person, but also I am an ardent feminist. So sit there, shut up, make sure you grab hold of my arm to make it look like you like me, even though actually what you're trying to do is stop me from throttling you. It's nauseating, it's predictable, and it's this one's wife, taking Gloria Steinem hostage for the purposes of advancing her own interests, as is always the case with this odious woman. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.